Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Disability Dojo, the Independent Life. We used to do these quite regularly. We were doing a dojo a week for a stint there and switched up the format a little bit. It's been a while since we've done the dojo. The masses keep pleading for me to do a one, so here we go. We're going to do a dojo. And I think it's a good time to do it as I am recording this on November 26, 2024. I am struck by the fact that we started this podcast 4 years ago in November of 2020. I remember it because we were in the throes of the COVID pandemic. Vaccines hadn't even been rolled out yet. There were still more spikes, a lot unknown, tons of uncertainty. When's it ever going to get back to the way it was? It was something that people kept repeating. 4 years. Time is very bendy and warpy, and in some ways, it seems like yesterday, and others, it seems like decades ago. And this is a good time for me to come to you all with some thoughts. And being that it is 4 years ago that we were going through everything that we were going through, and looking back in some of my notes and the episodes and everything, I'm struck by the quote that I led this podcast off with. It is like one of my favorites ever. Comes to us from Marcus Aurelius. The mind adapts and converts into its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to our action advances our action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacle is the way. I led this podcast series off with this quote for so many reasons. One of them being that the challenges that face us, form us, give us the virtues, the values, those things that have yet to be born into us, come through us through the challenges that we have, i.e., the pandemic that we were in. This quote was something I held dear and close to my heart, finding that hopefully through navigating those uncertain waters that I would, find ways to become a better person and thus be in a position to serve better. A thread that we have here on the Independent Life podcast is finding out how we can be better, how we can serve better. This quote was very important. And so just when I came across that, I'm like, I'm going to have to revisit that because we are once again in challenging times, and there's always opportunities for us to grow and evolve and become better. And there's no shortage of obstacles in this time of 2024. So much social, political, cultural movement that's going on, causing still more uncertainty in the world and anxiety in people. And I truly believe when people look towards the community of people with disabilities, they can find a lot of the answers to what they're looking for and how to best respond. People with disabilities have to be very sure and understand who we are as people. This is self-awareness. Something very important for, I think, all of us all of the time to have a good understanding of being very aware, being very present. Like people with disabilities often have to do on their journey, adapt and overcome, work very hard, a strong work ethic, being resilient, being persistent, leaning into the vulnerabilities that we will encounter with courage, growing from what we are learning through humility, and having the gratitude in our hearts to having gone through what we're going through to build on the virtues that we have, and ultimately landing in a place of empathy where we care for others who may be going through what we're going through so that we can be there to support them along their journey. I find those attributes, from self-awareness to humility to courage to persistence and resiliency, the gratitude, the empathy, those are things that I have found that people with disabilities are in no short supply of, nor the people that serve them. I have got to work with so many wonderful people throughout my career, but in particular here at the Center for Independent Living, being a month of gratitude, I wanted to acknowledge those who have touched me, certainly the people we serve. The amount of people I've gotten to meet that come through our doors to receive services and resources are why we are all here. They're the people that we are looking to be the best that we can be to ensure that they can live an independent life, empowering them to meet their independent living goals, whatever that may be. And I just really have grown from the people that have come through that door, show me what heart really means, what independence really means, how to, just really show up into this world the best version that is possible. And what a joy to be able to work to serve. And I get to work with so many incredible people here at the Center for Independent Living over my time of being here that I've learned and grown so much from. For example, our associate director, Amy, her enthusiasm, her inspiration, her and I connect all the time and talk about this book called The Four Agreements and these things that are very important as we're doing our work to keep in mind as we do the work, about not taking things personally, being true to our word, trying our best. And I just really appreciate the support and leadership that Amy has shown me in the center, and it's just such a joy to work for. Colette, our business manager, very good steward of the center's finances and resources that we are responsible for, and making sure that when the auditors come around, that they have everything that they need. All our I's are dotted, T's are crossed. So excellent at her job. Andrea, our Ocala office manager, shout out to her. She leads a group of people in our satellite office in Ocala, 10 people who are constantly out in the community representing. She does such an amazing job wearing so many different hats, all the way from taking care of the office itself to evaluating people to showing up at community events to representing the center in so many different spaces. Mark Brisbane, our independent living core services manager. I cannot say enough about this person. He can talk with anybody, connect with anybody's heart from no matter what walk of life that they're from, doing so much important work, getting people in our community housed, making sure that they have wheelchair ramps if they need them to get in and out of their houses. Just a man of true virtue, and good to know him. Alex Calvacante, our independent living services program project manager, senior project manager. He has taken us into the future. I really appreciate his vision. He is a genius thinker, has really innovative ideas, always willing to jump in and do almost any work that gets presented to what needs to get done around the center. Great attitude, zippity doo dah, zippity day. He gets everything done from day to day. Myrtle, oh wow, what a joy to meet Myrtle. She's our IL programs manager. She's so excellent. Again, like Mark, can talk with anybody, anywhere, anytime, and make a heart connection with them. So responsible to lead the programs that she's grown to lead, the staff that she has, the heart that she has. She just cares so much about the people we serve, the center itself, and is just an amazing person who is very strong in her faith and is very inspiring. Niusha, who is the high school high tech director. She's so amazing. She's really shown me a good example of what it means to be a strong leader, has really taken this program into just in a great place, the way that she structured it and is working. And again, somebody that's always out going around in the schools, responsible for our youth, somebody that really provides opportunities for students with disabilities to really have a North Star, something to shoot, after post-secondary, is into becoming whatever they want to be for the rest of their lives. Such a special program. Lauren, who directs our employment services programs, I'm so happy that she has grown into this position of leadership, has been somebody that I've learned a lot from. And I got to say, a cornerstone of independent living is getting people employed in meaningful and sustainable employment. Her and her team have done such excellent work, and it's not an easy job. And man, they are just an amazing crew. She works with Clara, an employment specialist that I really have made a connection with her. I'll never forget the time, Clara, that you gave me a card. It was after the new year with the Three Kings, again, talking about stars, the Oriental Star, which came to me at a really important time, a time I needed orientation and direction. And I'm not sure you'll ever know how much that card really meant to me to see that coming from you. Linda Butler, who works in our employment services program, she once directed it and came back here to work because it's still such an awesome place to work, and is such an expert in this area, and so wonderful to have you back with us and helping people. And Amal, who is taking on some innovative programs for our employment services. She works with the University of Florida Shands Health, Project Search, getting seniors that are about to graduate experience and working in the hospital environment in so many different areas like respiration and pharmacy and all kinds of different areas where people can get jobs within the hospital. Such an innovative program. So happy that you decided to take that on and help to grow the center. I want to throw a shout out also to Seda. She's our IL Community Services manager. And she is amazing at connecting with people as well. She really makes a heart connection with them, cares so much about people, always going above and beyond to serve other people, and brings in this very, I think, important and refreshing, inspiring young attitude. Young meaning like the new way of seeing things fresh, seeing things like that are a bit progressive, which is very important for us in the IL movement to have young people with great ideas that are different than the contemporary ones to make sure that we're pushing this movement along. I see that in you, Seda. And Cameron, he was a guest on one of our episodes. You got to hear Cameron's story. He's an amazing person. He's a survivor. He's a joy to be around. He is one of those people that seems to live like every day to its fullest. Bright sunshine radiates from this person every time I encounter him, works very hard, cares deeply about people, and it's a joy to get to know you. Magina, again, someone else that I've been just very impressed with, somebody that we found from the University of Florida, coming to work to put her way through school, coming from Haiti, and just to learn so much about you and your family and where you are coming from and how you're contributing to our community. And you're a true inspiration to how you work here at the center, but also how you live your life and some of the ideas that you shared with me and the inspiration that you have. It's very nice to have you among with us. Destiny, she works in our paratransit program, as does Cameron and as does Magina, who I was talking about. But Destiny is somebody that is also full of joy, always willing to go above and beyond, pleasant to be around, very welcoming of all people, very patient, can turn someone's day around who might be coming, not having the greatest day, comes through our door, encounters Destiny, and voila, they can be a transformed person. I always appreciate how hard you work, Destiny. And Brent, who comes to us recently, one of the most recent people here to come on board. I really love Brent's work ethic, his consistency. I see great things in his future. He's someone said a young Mark Brisbane, who I mentioned earlier, which is a high compliment in the making. Brent does amazing work with making sure that people who come through our door get what they need to get and get directed into that direction, providing them resources and services that are on the community. And for his transition work, getting people out of institutional facilities and back into the neighborhood and doing it with a way that he's learned so much so fast. And it's a real joy to have you here, Brent. Claudia, who leads our Florida Alliance for Assistive Services and Technologies program. Oh my gosh, she's out everywhere within our catchment area. 16 counties, right? And she's in 11 of them, providing assistive technologies for so many different people, going to their houses, showing them how to use it. She never stops. She's amazing. Ashlyn, who also was a guest on our podcast. She was our independent living community health worker. She's now transitioned into adult transition services. Let me tell you, one of the biggest important things that I saw as we started coming out of the COVID pandemic, where things were, starting to circulate more, we said we need to reach our community. We've been isolated long enough. We need to bring them back to our center, have more in-person events, build culture through this connection. And she has done this. And it takes time to reach people, to connect with them, get them coming back, get them into new routines, habits, and patterns, then developing relationships with people that are showing up, accompanying them as they get to know each other, navigating those waters, building a culture here, like every day, this center and people in the community are getting in touch with opportunities to be able to come together and build community and connect. And we know how important that is, especially during a time where people are talking about the epidemic of loneliness. Ashlyn, for you and all the people that work with you to bring this back into our community, it is gold. Christy, who I just saw leaving work today for, and it struck me that she's the poster person for independence. When I came on board, she was getting her, first place on her own. She's working here at the center. When I think about independent living, like I just imagine Christy. She is walking the talk, and she helps so many people along the path that she's on. Very, very excited for you, Christy, and everything that you are being as an example and inspiration for the people we serve. Kevin, who is our champion for emergency management. You've heard him on a few episodes talking about the importance for people with disabilities to make sure that they're prepared before and know how to respond during and recover after disasters. We are so steeped in emergency management since I got here due to Kevin's leadership, connecting us in the community. And since then, we've had to really, respond every year to disasters. And it's through his involvement, through his expertise, through his networking and leveraging the resources that he has in the community that so many people know what Centers for Independent Living are, know how that we can help people that are in need before, during, and after disasters, but also the professionals in the field. He has raised their level of understanding about disabilities and how to work with people. Phenomenal impact, game changer. Brandon, being someone that also has a low vision disability, I really appreciate your efforts that you do for the center. Thank you so much for accompanying me on my journey to try and use assistive technologies as well. I appreciate your representation on FAST and the work that you do for employment services and advocacy, especially for youth. It's phenomenal. Appreciate you, Brandon. Colleen, who comes to us from almost 25 years of service here at the center. I want to say it's probably over that at this point, but a champion for the deaf community. As someone who is deaf, she is very well known in the community and is someone that they count on to really help them navigate resources within the community, get effective communication, be someone that they really look up to and is a true inspiration for the deaf community, but also for us as staff. I certainly, Colleen, through you, have learned so much more, and I still have much more to learn about the deaf community and how I can better show up to be someone that can not just understand them, but also be somebody that is providing them whatever they may need, especially for me in terms of effective communication or advocacy. Patricia, who comes to us from the Ocala office as well, doing reception. You're a joy and pleasure to work with. Again, you're one of those people that seems to just radiate sunshine throughout your day. And that might be because you work with Miss Lucinda over there, who I want to say I gave her a call just to hear her answer the phone because she has one of the most joyful, most welcoming, most endearing tones of voice. And energy that I receive from it. It just warms my heart. And you do so much, Lucinda. I know you work with people that are in very difficult situations, and you're so empathetic. You're an empath. And I know their situations and the challenges that they go through. You, like many of our staff, take that on. And it's been wonderful for you to be able to come share with me how much you care about other people, and it just shows how hard and your work that you go to be what they need. I got to thank our sign language interpreting team, certainly starting with Kathy, who helps to coordinate these programs. Kathy and I did an episode. I think it was like our first year. When we were getting things off the ground and explaining, what American Sign Language interpreting services are in our area. We have several staff interpreters and freelance interpreters that go and provide as much sign language interpreting as we can within our catchment area. We live in a geographic location that there's more people that need a sign language interpreter so that they can go to the doctor, whether it's education or work or wherever it may be. There's more people that are needing interpreters than we have interpreters that can be able to do this very important work. So coordinating the schedules and times where people have got to be, and it is mind-bendingly like this head spinning, disorienting, how many dots there are there to connect. So I'm very grateful for Kathy and all the scheduling and work that she does to serve folks who need effective communication, from our wonderful sign languaging staff, who is Riley, is Debbie, Sophia, and of course, I can't forget Ken. You all are wonderful. You're amazing at the skills that you have. It's beauty, it's art to see you do the communication that you do, to be able to provide it to people that need it so that they can live independently in the community. I'm very thankful and grateful for all that you have taught me about doing this important work that you all do, and just wish you the best as you continue to do it, because it is just so critical, so critical, the services that you provide to people. Just allow so many people to be included and involved in the community. You know what value you bring, and just very grateful for all of you and the freelancers that we have out there doing it. Patty, who is pretty much the reason why we're able to keep on the lights and receive paychecks, and keep the wheels of a business going. You are so integral to the operations of our center. I really appreciate Patty being like one of the first people in the office when she's in at like 5:36 in the morning, which I love it because I'm a morning person too. So by the time I come in, Patty's already worked a couple hours and has work for me already ready to do. Very organized. And I want to say that how important it was for me to come into work and to connect with you, Patty. I really appreciate how you share your faith with me. I want to say we're the same age, so we share a lot of pop culture references and life philosophy, and things that are very important, such as being present, being grateful. So I'm very grateful for those moments that we got to share, Patty. That really touched my heart. Peter, who is one of your office neighbors there, who again works with you to make sure that we have everything that we need to do the work that we do. Also involved with reporting. Also an incredible cook who was brought into our independent living skills classes to do how to cook meals, which was also always accompanied with a bit of history, because Peter just knows so many different things about the cultures, maybe where a dish comes from, and it's wonderful having you around, Peter. If we ever had a karaoke contest, he would win hands down. An amazing voice. And of course, talking about independent living skills, cannot forget old Terry. Terry, I just really look up to you. Come from a family of teachers. Some of my best friends are teachers. I dabbled in teaching myself, so I have a lot of respect for this profession. And to come in and see you leading independent living skills classes, leading peer groups, leading like staff trainings and lunch and learns, and so many of the different things that you do. Your capacity to teach to all different kinds of levels, keep people engaged, the ability to adapt and throw out all the best plans that that you may have, but a situation comes up and they got to get tossed and got to improvise. You're among the best I've ever seen do it, and you do it because you care so much about the folks that come in to see us. So I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful for our board. As well, our board of executive directors, that we couldn't do this without you all, and you're volunteering for our center. B, our president, outgoing president, and Jonathan, our vice president. B, coming from us from Santa Fe College, working at the Deans of Students office, just cares so much. Very professional. Jonathan, wounded warrior. He was in one of our episodes. We had to do a two-parter with Jonathan. This guy is a living legend who's often running up to DC and to other very important places that are needing his input, advice, or technical assistance, because he's a veteran who has a lot of important experiences, wisdom, and really reaching out to make sure that our veterans are looked after. Thank you. Jim Gorski, who has a lot of involvement with disability resource centers at colleges, works at the Department of Medicine and the University of Florida. I've known Jim longer than I came here to the center, and so it's wonderful for me to accompany that. Same with Doug Jones. He's amazing, a local celebrity in the area of wheelchair activism. Kimberly, who also is at Santa Fe College. I appreciate you coming over and giving us this perspectives that you're able to. You're always a lot of fun and funny, whether or not you mean it or not. You always have people smiling when they're around you. And Hannah, congratulations on your new baby. Not so new, but a year. This seems pretty young to me. You're wonderful. Thank you for all your contributions to the center. Coming from the Division of Blind Services, a sister organization of ours, you really helped to bring in some good insights and shared understanding of what our mission is, and always willing to help. I really appreciate that, Rennie. And Wida, you all are wonderful to make contributions that you have to our board. Aaron, who is also from Santa Fe College, thank you so much for coming on board. And all of you and your volunteerism that you bring to the center, such important leadership, gives us good direction and assurance to have you there with us as we serve the people that we serve in our community. And, of course, there's other people that are involved here that, to thank, that I'm so grateful for. All this is coming from a spirit of gratitude. I just really want to acknowledge all of you individually. I called you all out individually, and because that was important to me, so that you understand that I see you. We work with many different contractors. We had an episode with Jacob Atem, who's teaching our employment readiness achievement 100-hour pre-release curriculum to people who are incarcerated. This is a curriculum all inmates in the state of Florida have to take before they graduate. And we got Jacob. Go listen to his episode. He is phenomenal. He's a lost boy from Southern Sudan, came from genocide and civil war over here to the United States. And he's delivering a program to people and is inspiring them, showing them that, Jacob coming from what he came from, even though they might be coming from difficult situations, they're going to be, going back into the community. We want them to live independently. This is what we do. Our prison systems are institutionalized care, for people. And when they get released, this is where Centers for Independent Living come in. Very grateful for him, for the people at the Department of Corrections that have been working with this. Aaron, Janelle, this is for you. Thank you so much. Without your leadership and blessing, we wouldn't be able to be in so many of the different facilities that we're in the state of Florida, delivering this great class. I'm very happy for our WIPA contractors, our CWICs, a lot of alphabet soup there that I won't specifically spell out, but Shane and Eva, you're two of the best in the country, from what I understand, at doing what you do. And so very grateful for having you deliver this very important service for the people that we do. We operate here at our Center for Independent Living with volunteers. So we have people that are volunteering for us. When volunteerism is down across the board in so many different places, we find ourselves prospering with volunteers. People that know about our programs have helped their sons or daughters or their friends or they themselves. We have people that are once consumers who are receiving our services, receive a service and want to then become a volunteer. And Hedy, that would be you. You or somebody that comes in every week and helping, with us and some of the things that we need done around the office. We get students from the University of Florida. I tell you, we have 5 or 6 at least every semester around the year, new students working with us from the University of Florida and other colleges. They're doing so much great work to help carry the load, and hopefully, we're also being able to give them very valuable experiences that they'll carry with them to whatever the next career may be. And some of them actually are working here with us at the center. They become staff. So we're just so thankful for the contractors, the volunteers, the supports. Roberto, who does our IT, I'd be remiss to say thank you for you and your services that you're always doing, to help keep the center with the IT that we need to be able to do all that we do. I'm very grateful for the Agribility Project and the team there that works to help make sure that farmers with disabilities are given what they need to continue farming, continue putting food on our plate, clothes on our back, medicines where we need them to be able to be healthier. Our Florida farmers, it's an industry that is one of the most dangerous, and people acquire disabilities quite regularly. And we want to make sure that they can continue working because that's what they want to do. It's in their family, it's in their blood. And there's just such a great team of people that work there, between Sirap, our principal investigator, to Lindsay, our case coordinator, to David, who does our evaluation, and Vanessa, who does our youth outreach and 4-H, and Shelby, who keeps us organized, and Molly, who keeps us advertised, and Jasmine, who's really helping out with our audio, video, and capturing and giving us some really good ideas. That would be Jasmine that does our production for the Independent Life podcast. So without her, none of this happens. She's just amazing, skilled. She could be spending time making a whole lot more money with other clients than with us, but she works with us because she believes in our mission, and giving back is very important to her and her heart and who she is. So grateful because she just is a wonderful person, and man, I just love her sense of humor, and it's professionalism, and it's good to work with good people that have ideas that are like, yeah, maybe the world will change, and we can change the world, and a small group of people can do it, and it's just so inspiring. So very practical very grateful for everything that you do, Jasmine. I'm very grateful for the people that help put our wheelchair ramps into the community. We also have an episode with Mark Brisbane early on, and we were talking about we can, we get the money to go put in wheelchair ramps into people's homes, and by the way, it's a shocking amount of people that live in our community that cannot get in and out of their home because they cannot afford a wheelchair ramp. It is one of those things that whenever you're going through the threshold, the doorway of your house, leaving or coming in, count your blessings. Be very glad that you can just do that simple act that is so profound and can be the difference between a person being isolated at home and out in the community. And we have a ramp program that works with people who do construction. It's required that they have a general contractor's license, workers' comp, and all these other kind of things that are very important. How to submit a permit, ADA, specifications, et cetera. So we need contractors. We got custom design and renovation, and Onwiki, Ben Onwiki, he is a person that has his own business and construction business and has helped us out. CDR, Ben, so grateful for you all. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for so many of the parents of youth with disabilities that I've gotten to meet over the time. Because while we serve the people with disabilities, we recognize that there is interdependence and independence, and certainly with parents and guardians that have come to us wanting the best for their sons and daughters. It's been a real joy to help you all, and then for us to learn how we can help better too. And one of those people is Trish Thornburg. She came to me early on and formed the Independence Opportunity Network, ION. And this is a group of very committed parents who want the best for their sons and daughters. They pool resources together. They lean on each other. They use this as their own community cult. It's just an incredible culture of people that have gotten together. And I'm very grateful that we, on every, like third Friday of a month, we receive their sons and daughters and other people that they know that they can put into our care, and we just have fun with them on a Friday night. We play bingo, we do karaoke, we dance, we be goofy, we ask how they're doing, even when they're going through hard times, and it's just such a joy to be able to provide that for them. And we couldn't do that without all the parents and the support of ION to bring them in. It's just such an opportunity then for them to go meet other people too, because we bring in a lot of volunteers that come to work, and they're like friends. I don't even say they're volunteers. They just come in and want to hang out and have fun on a Friday night at our center. It's been just such a joy. Life Transition Skills, another group that comes to us, and it's just such a joy to work with you all, because so many different reasons, but the teachers there, the people on the board there have such kind hearts. The people that are participants in the program are just wonderful, and it's done in love and memory of Abijah Bertrand, an incredible person who left this planet much too early, and it left a crater in the disability community. Someone who exemplified high virtue, caring, sacrifice, hard work, just brought a lot of joy into people's lives. And he started Life Transition Skills. And after his passing, his wife and other teachers who are already involved with the program and his participants carried on in his memory. And so for us to be working with them during this time, it's just phenomenal. And I feel Abijah with us every time you all come in the building, and I hear the laughs and I hear the joy. And it's just wonderful to hear. I'm very grateful for the Florida Alliance for Assistive Services and Technologies. Eric Reed there and his group have been just such a joy to work with them. They're a sister organization. We contract with them. There's many other partners throughout the state who do, but they came to do a workshop in for like team building at our office one time. Got to meet their staff, seen them co-present at different conferences, and it's just really wonderful to have another organization that doing what we do in terms of providing independence for people. Assistive technologies provide such good independence, for people to be out there. As I'm talking about statewide organizations, I certainly should have led with the Florida Independent Living Council, Beth Myers. There's an interview with her, I want to say, within our first season. Eric, too. Sorry to go back, but there's Eric. We got to you because this is a very important year for FAST turning 30. But the Florida Independent Living Council, has really supported Centers for Independent Living statewide, largely through the efforts of Beth Meyer as executive director. She helped to bring us Florida Agribility. Everyone on the team, had their own role bringing it here, and it couldn't have been done without. Everyone contributed. And you just take one person away, it doesn't happen. Well, Beth is the person. Like, none of it happens if Beth doesn't, get the inspiration to bring this program to the state of Florida for its first time, and her support during emergency and disaster management. She's a conductor, directing the symphony of people. She's not directing in the sense of like directing people, telling them what to do, but she's directing us and orienting us to where we can make the best out of these situations and learn and grow and get better the next time it goes through, because we're Florida, and there's just year after year, there's I want to say consecutively now, almost every part of Florida has been impacted by disasters, hurricanes. Every center has had, in each of these disasters, many centers are getting damaged, and she just leads these efforts and doing it on top of all the other administrative and statutory duties that she has to fulfill doing that organization. Sarah Goldman, oh my gosh, who also works at Philk, who is a leader of youth within the state of Florida, and what she has going on is money. It's just the juice. It is where it's at. So Sarah, it's a joy to see you doing what you do. Of course, I can't think of you without thinking of Whitney Doyle, wherever she is. Always appreciated working with you through Phil, through the Florida Alliance for Assistive Services and Technologies, FAST. You were Eric's, but there before Eric. So I really appreciate you all. It's really cool to see you over there too at Phil, Horace. So I'm very grateful for you being there. The Disability Rights Florida, of course. They're a great partner to work with us. Brian Russell, I see you over there. Yeah, your support while you were at the emergency management and access and functional needs coordinator, Department of Health, was great. But now that you're over at Disability Rights Florida, also in that space of preparedness and making sure that people with disabilities are having equal access when they go get healthcare. It's awesome, and really appreciate you. The ABLE trust that we work with, to Duluth High School High Tech, and so many other things throughout the state of Florida. They are incredible leaders in what they do. University of Florida, College of Health and Human Performance, Health Education and Behavior, Family, Youth and Community, Occupational Therapy, Public Health and Health Professions, Pharmacy, Health Disparities Minority Program, Engineering, IFAS, which is the agricultural departments. Like I'm going to be missing 4 or 5 other departments that just aren't coming to me right at the top of my head. But it's so wonderful to see the community academic partnerships that we have with them. Universities, colleges, they truly have the resources to make such an impact on social needs that are just outside their campus. And it's great to work with the University of Florida to leverage its human, material, and financial resources to serve people. And it's been a win-win-win, to be able to do that. And certainly all the Centers for Independent Living, the directors, their staff, has been just like an amazing amount of gratitude I have for you all. I've leaned on you so many times to learn how to be a better director, how to understand how to, get and implement and evaluate services. And so many of the staff throughout the state of Florida Centers for Independent Living have taught me so much about doing those kind of things. And So I know this was a long list of people and places and persons to thank, and I know I'm leaving some people off the list that I'm going to regret not having on there, but I've done my best to at least acknowledge some of the many people that need to be acknowledged and thanked, and just express my gratitude, appreciation. It's just very heartwarming to see other people give. I heard recently in research that's coming out studying this thing called awe. It's just awesomeness, amazement, wonder. They're attributing this to and now a lot of health benefits that are very important. And they say a lot of things bring awe when you look out into space and see the stars and how small we are, or on top of a mountain and can see the beauty, or just be able to look at a baby that's newly born. All these things that can bring awe. They say one of the things that in the human condition that is known reportedly when they're measuring when people encounter states of awe is when people are seen giving to others. The person that just witnesses someone serving, helping, assisting, supporting another person. This could be without a disabilities or whatnot. When they see this action of beneficence being made, it induces this thing we call awe. That is so important. That is done when we look into space on top of a mountain, doing big adventurous things, traveling, etc. It's when we give to each other. And the thread on this podcast has been, to yes, we got to serve and be better, but it really starts with ourselves. How can we be the best versions of ourselves possible through, yes, people with disabilities are people that are less likely to graduate and be employed. So we talk a lot about how we can do that, get housed, get transportation. I mean, and to be a good advocate, this all takes skills. This takes work. This takes achievement. This takes dedication. This takes habits. This takes all these things that are very important to independent living, to work on ourselves. And when we talk to people on this podcast, we usually go in on like, how are you able to do this, overcome this, ascend to this place in your life. Even though each and every one of them will admit that there are works in progress, we often talk about how did they get to achieve? How did they get up this ladder? How did they do these things, given the situations that they were in? Because that is very important. And what you may notice in many of the interviews that we have over time is that we get to, well, what really drives you? Yes, it's great you achieve and have skills and overcome and adapt, but really what's behind that? What are the values that you hold near and dear to your heart? What are the virtues? What's your life philosophy? What's your why? Why do you get out of bed and do all this, incredible things? So this other aspect of improving ourselves beyond just those things that might look really good on a resume, which are very important for us to get jobs and all these other kind of things, skills, knowledge, etc. But who we are, our character. These words are out of vogue today. Character, virtue, values. They're being used less and less. I would argue that these are more important than ever. To have good character, care, be kind, be graceful with one another, be honest, work hard. These things are, I find, I'm still working on. I'm not here preaching like I'm here and have it all. And, people that are listening there do not at all. No, I'm saying everything, it starts with me. And so it's been a joy to really pull on that thread of being the best version of ourselves possible, so that we may then, yes, go and serve others and for the greater good. It's kind of this interesting dichotomy between, being independent, and being the best version of ourselves, but doing it for the purpose also of the common good. This is what our country was born with: independent, rugged individualism, but also the common good and the commonwealth. It's like life is lived in the belly of paradox. How can we get these two things to coexist in the same space and still make sense for us? Because I think that they're both needed. And today, to the angle of really serving others, I wanted to close this episode with a quote that I find a real high calling for us to be able to serve others, and one I think that ultimately gives us a sense of purpose, something bigger than ourselves to really latch onto. And for this, would give me to a place of being able to acknowledge the gratitude that I have for everybody. And this quote happens to a person as they are down on their luck. This is Buckminster Fuller. Back in the 1920s. He was pretty well known inventor, writer, etc. But he was down on his luck, and there was a lot of things going on in his life that he wanted to quit, and he went to end his life by swimming out into, I believe it was Lake Michigan, and freeze to death in the winter. He was going to end it. He heard a voice that came to him. Maybe his own voice, maybe it was divine intervention. But the voice told him, "You do not belong to you. You do not have the right to remove yourself from existence. You belong to the universe. Okay, the significance of you may forever remain obscure to you, but suffice it to say, assume that you are fulfilling your significance so long as you apply yourself to converting all you are, all you've experienced, to the highest advantage of others. You and all people are here for the sake of other people." I truly believe that's our life calling, to be there for one another. And then when we are, I think everyone can be grateful. The person who receives and the person who is in a privileged place to be able to give. And it's important. I believe that we all occupy that place. And in that place, we can be eternally grateful. I am so grateful for everyone. I hope you have an incredible Thanksgiving, or whenever you may be hearing this, whenever that may be, wherever you are, onward and upward.